So this is the new budget phone iQOO Z6. Now we have tried a lot of iQOO phones like iQOO 9, iQOO 9 Pro, iQOO 9 SE. iQOO Z6 might feel like a successor to iQOO Z5, but it's not, and it's quite cheaper at 13,999. But this video is going to be different. Since we are late for the unboxing, we'll try and give you an experience of the phone and talk about things which usually get missed in unboxing. And at the end, we'll talk about whether should you consider iQOO Z6. First things first, since a lot of people want to see within the box, well, you get the phone, you get a case, actually good quality case, and you have some paperwork, charger. This is an 18 watt charger. It's a big charger for 18 watt though. Then you have a USB-A to Type-C cable and a SIM ejector tool. Now, iQOO phones are known for performance, but before that, let's just quickly see the small things. And you get the same 6.58-inch 120Hz IPS LCD display, and it's a 1080p display, but you get this U-shaped notch. It could have been a punch hole that would have made this phone look more modern, but iQOO Z3 and iQOO Z5 had the same U-shaped notch, so I kind of expected it. Now, it's an LCD display, but the viewing angle is quite good. Like, see, with below average display, what happens is if you tilt the phone this way, the colors change, the brightness also change. But with the iQOO Z6, like see here, I tilt the display this way or this way. There is not a lot of change in the color. The brightness also more or less is the same. And also you have the option to switch the display to 60, 90 and 120 Hz. Rest, you get wideband L1, so videos on both Netflix and Prime Video play at 1080p. So it does play 1080p video on Netflix, but we checked in Prime Video and it runs at 480p. However, this usually gets fixed with an update after a week of release or something. And even in outdoor conditions, you can see the brightness is quite good under direct sunlight. Now, of course, it's not an AMOLED display, but at this price, if you get performance, you get an IPS LCD display with it. And also, the iQOO Z6 has a single speaker. And hold on, this is a budget phone and this is not for comparison, but this has stereo speakers. And here, listen to the audio. And here, this is iQOO Z6 single speaker. Can you tell the difference? So actually the loudness is quite the same as a stereo speaker, but you know that the sound is coming from one side and you could cover it with your hand as well. But I like the clarity and overall loudness of the single speaker. And since it's an IPS LCD display, you get a side mounted fingerprint scanner. It's quite fast. Now, camera is where things get really interesting. Generally, iQOO is known to have a good camera. So here you get a 50 megapixel main sensor. There is no ultra wide angle camera. And you have a 16 megapixel front selfie camera. Now, selfies come out really good. I like the color, skin tone, and even in portrait mode, you see the edge detection for a 14,000 phone is really good. And this is in outdoor conditions with bright sunlight. Overall, I like the HDR processing and color of the selfies for a phone in this price range. Now, on the main sensor, I felt the photos are a bit soft. The colors are a bit boosted and it generally prefers a yellowish skin tone. It tries to brighten up the face, as you can see in Manu's photo and my photo as well. Now, on the video front, you can record 1080p 60 fps on the main sensor. And this is a processor limitation. Snapdragon 695 doesn't support 4K videos, which is fine for this range, but a lot of phones at 20,000 come with Snapdragon 695 where you don't get 4K video support, which is quite a bummer. Now, of course, you get a 2 megapixel macro camera and a 2 megapixel depth sensor, which again is cool, I guess. Now, iQOO Z6 really excels in performance. So you get a Snapdragon 695, 4GB LPDDR4X RAM and 128GB UFS 2.2 base storage. Now, you also get a 6GB plus 128GB at 14,999. I would say if you have the budget, get that one. First of all, Snapdragon 695 is a very cool processor. I didn't see throttling in the CPU throttling app. And even in Antutu, it scores above 4 lakh. And in this price range, it's a very good score. We did a comparison video here, so you can check and have an idea of the performance of iQOO Z6. But you don't buy a phone to run benchmarks, do you? So in real life, in games, BGMI, well, you get 40 FPS in smooth graphics. And the gaming performance, as you can see, is really good for 40 FPS. We played it about 1 hour now and you can see the temperature of the device. And for the heat, iQOO Z6 has this 5-layer cooling system, which seems to be working good. Now, of course, Snapdragon chips are generally good in gaming support. So here, if you see in COD, you can play max graphics at high frame rates or just very high graphics at very high frame rate, which is really good for this price range. Even you can play Genshin Impact on this phone. You get only low graphics at 30 FPS, but as you can see, the gameplay is good, like playable at least. Now, in day-to-day tasks, of course, using Instagram, WhatsApp, browsing the web, it performs well and smooth because of the 120Hz display. Now, in terms of software, you get FunTouchOS 12 based on Android 12. Now, it's good to see that budget phones are also coming with Android 12, considering a lot of expensive phones don't come with Android 12. But see here, Android 12 gives you some good features. Like, see, whenever an app uses a camera or mic, you see an indicator right over here. As well as, if you don't want a third-party app to know your exact location, you can give an approximate location. But one thing that I've noticed is with budget FunTouchOS phones, the animation is reduced. Like, it feels like there is little to no animation. But this makes your phone feel fast, so I guess this is what you get on a budget phone. You do get some bloatware which you can uninstall. You also get hot apps, hot games, and here, settings, hot games and hot apps, turn off. Now, coming to the iQOO Z6, the phone starts at 13,999. This price is including the bank offers. Now, of course, for people who want gaming performance in a budget, this is actually a good and powerful phone. Plus, you get 4G plus carrier aggregation. It doesn't skip on any of the important sensors, but you get only two 5G bands, N77 and 78. They could have given 4 to 5 bands, which would have been cool. You also get a 5000 mAh battery, but it supports only 18 watt charging, so it takes about 2 hours 10 minutes to charge from 0 to 100. Now, if your priorities are media consumption, good camera, I would say you can check out this video. There are better options. Rest, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. We'll be answering to them for the next 1 hour after this video goes live. On that note, this is Pradeep signing off. See ya pretty soon. Pew pew.